what's your name?
My name's Sean McGee.
All right, and what year did you graduate?
I came out in the class of 1992.
All right, did you participate in any sports or clubs?
I played basketball for a couple years, and I was in DECA at the time for a couple years as well.
Was DECA the still type of group that it is now?
I'm not sure what it is now. At the time, it was Distributive Education Clubs of America. I think it was transitioned over to Association of Marketing Students. I'm not sure what the state of it is right now.
All right, and is it true that you have a son, Sean McGee, that goes here now?
Mm-hmm. My son, Sean Patrick McGee II, who also plays basketball.
All right, how would you describe the population of African Americans here at Northside?
At the time, probably in that 20-25% range. Wasn't very many of us, but we all were pretty close, stuck together.
All right, were you guys around? Did you guys live around the same areas?
We did. Came from the same neighborhood primarily. I was over on the Wayne Street area, so Wayne Street, Lewis area is kind of all, we're all in the same area, quite honestly.
All right. Are you still in contact with those in your graduating class?
I keep in contact with some of them here and there, and also because my son Sean goes here and I come back and forth, there's still that relationship where Sean may know some of the other children that, were the children of some of the kids I went to high school with.
Are you still in contact? Well, do you still stay around the school? Like, do you still participate in a lot of school activities here?
I don't. I think I was part of the PTA, so I contributed in that way.
Okay. Did you have a particular teacher or counselor that impacted you in a positive way?
I would say Keith Scott at the time. My mom had passed going into my high school years, so it was a transition time for me, and Scott was there to really help me get through that and see my way.
All right. Was he a teacher or a counselor?
He's a counselor.
Okay. What are you doing now?
I work for Kroger. I'm a regional expense sanitation sustainability manager for the company. Been there for about 18 years.
Okay.
There was a lot of black students. I coach basketball here now, and I'm in the building a lot. So I see a lot of black kids here now, but I think it may have been more back when I was in high school.
More than it is now?
More than it is now.
All right. Are you still in contact with those that you graduated with?
Oh, yeah. They're all, I had, let's see, there was 7 seniors when I played on the basketball team, and I'm friends with all of them now. We're all still tight. Everybody that played ball was awarded a scholarship for athletics, and we're all still good friends.
All right, and you're still coaching now, currently at Northside?
I currently coach. I'm assistant varsity coach here at Northside. Another guy named Keon Brooks that graduated with me, who's also a family member of mine. He's also he's the assistant JV coach and also assistant varsity coach here at Northside.
And how long have you been coaching?
I've been coaching here at Northside. This was my 5th year.
Okay. While you were here, is there a particular teacher or counselor that impacted you in a positive way?
Well, there were many. There was a counselor. Her last name was Epps. I can't remember her first name. She was very good. She was the African-American lady. She was here forever. Also, Keith Scott was a counselor here. He was a mentor to a lot of the black students here. Without him here, I don't know where a lot of those kids, what path or what road they would have went down, but he was very, very instrumental in the development of kids here at Northside. He's moved on, unfortunately, but he's at Northrop now, and he's still coaching track. He coached track here. He's still developing, young minds in Fort Wayne Community Schools. So yeah, he was very instrumental in my development.
Did they really try to get into your personal life? Did they really know much about where you came from?
Oh yeah, back then things were a lot different. There's a lot different rules now. Then kids and faculty. I mean, if you were tight with them, you hung out outside of school. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of different rules now with stuff like that. But we hung out with Mr. Scott. He took us to different universities. We hung out at his house. We had cookouts. I mean, we just, he really got into our personal lives and made a connection with us on a personal level.
All right. And what are you doing with your life now?
I currently work at Benchmark AWS, coaching here at Northside. I have a wife who's a counselor here. Her name's Amy Wynn. I have 2 kids, and I'm just doing the family thing and work.
All right. First, what's your name?
Shafonda Lewis,
And what year did you graduate?
1992.
And while you're here, did you participate in any sports or clubs?
I participated in basketball and track.
All right. Did you do those all 4 years?
Basketball and track 3 years, and then Afro-American Club, I think I did that for 3 years too.
And who is the head of the African American Club?
Mrs. Epps.
And what was the club about?
It was just basically a club to bring, African American students together to talk about different issues or different activities that we can do within the school. So just bringing, everyone together, diversity.
Was it quite a few people that joined?
I think so. It was a good number.
Okay. How would you describe the population of African Americans at Northside?
I'll say about 25%.
Okay. Were you close to them?
I think I was more close to those that lived like in the area where I lived at. But I would say pretty much so.
Were they more?
I guess it's because we were all like from the same area town, so we all knew each other. So when we come to school, we all hung around each other. So basically, the ones I hung around, I lived around too. So.
All right. Are you still in contact with those in your graduating class?
Yes, I am.
All right. Did you have a particular teacher or counselor that impacted you in a positive way?
I would say Mrs. Epps was instrumental, and Mr. Beerbaum, he was a good teacher. But other than that, I think more of my motivation came from my grandmother, so to excel in school and in education.
Okay. And what are you doing now?
I'm currently working with the state of Indiana. I am a supervisor for the Department of Child Services, and I work with a specialized unit, which is relative care. So basically, if kids come into the system and they have relatives, we try to make sure they're placed with relatives instead of foster care.
Do you think that like any of your childhood years could make you who you are now? Like
I
what
think
you were before?
I think so. Basically, when I was younger, I always wanted to work with kids and give back to the community in which I grew up in, and through this job is somewhat taking me down that pathway. So, yeah.
Did you further your education once you were outside high school?
Yes, I went to IU and I got my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. And May of this year, I just graduated with my master's in criminal justice. So, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. First, can you give me your name?
My name is Corey Hurst.
All right. What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 1992.
While you were here, did you participate in any types of sports or clubs?
Yes, I was in wrestling from my sophomore year to junior year, in football my sophomore year to senior year. And I was in like African Arts Club that we did like a play one day and a couple other things we did.
Was there a lot of people in the African Arts Club?
Yes, so there's a lot of blacks in the club.
Was it for all grades or?
All grades, all races and creeds. Anybody could have got involved in it.
Okay. How would you describe the population of African Americans at Northside?
I say it's only like maybe 20-25%. Because like the first year was only like 2 buses around that we picked up. Then like my senior year, they started going across town, and it was like 3 black buses. And we was like the only bus would have to come in at lunch and have to pay for a bus pass. The only bus out of 10. Those 3 buses, no other bus. Everybody else will walk straight by us. We had to go in the cafeteria and pay $2 to ride the bus every Monday morning.
Wow. Are you still in contact with those that were in your graduating class?
Yes, very in contact with a lot of people who graduated my 1992 year.
Okay. How did you meet them? Like, how did you get back in touch?
One was like social media, like Facebook. I mean, a lot of friends I haven't seen since high school. When I got on Facebook and I started to get in contact with a lot of people and how years passed, and you'd be like, wow, how much they changed after the years.
Okay. Do you know any of their kids, or
Yes.
do your kids know each other?
Yes, like they see me say hi, Mr. Hurst, and tell me I went to school with your dad or your mom, and yeah, the kids still know me.
Okay. Did you have a particular teacher or counselor that impacted you in a positive way?
Yes, it was Miss Watson. She got me involved in a lot of things, and like she came to me my senior year, and she asked me, do I want to go to college? And I was like, I just want to graduate. and she really got me involved, and she took me down to groups down at IU. She signed me up, said, look, this is what I'm going to do, and have you go down there and visit. And when you visit, you just go from there. And I was like, all right. So I went down there and visit IU, spent the night. As soon as I got back, I told my mom, I'm going to IU. So I encourage a lot of kids to go visit colleges and go, besides just run around your neighborhood or your block or community, you need to go out and visit things. Was Watson stopped me. I know other counselors, what you want to do, and said go to college. And she signed me up to go down to groups and visit. And once I visited, my eye was like, yeah, there's more to it in life. And I just encourage kids just to go visit other stuff.
Which IU was it?
IU Bloomington. Bob Knight. He was like the king down there.
All right. And what are you doing now?
Nothing, just work for United Parcel Service, customer service, and just cut hair. Got my barber license.
Okay. Cool.